The spirit of the shortcut. How AI makes an old temptation faster, cleaner, and easier to hide. In May, I led a day-long Nassau BOCES workshop on AI in the classroom. Throughout the day, teachers were wary of handing over AI to students, though nearly all of them used AI themselves in their work and personal lives. By the middle of the day, one teacher put it plainly: I'm still not convinced my students should ever use AI. I wasn't totally surprised by the remark. While I wasn't trying to convince teachers to let students to use AI in the classroom, I was trying to mark out a path of good use if AI is going to continue to be a tool everyone uses. The argument was simple enough. AI is not going away, so we had better learn to use it well. Throughout the day, teachers were asking the right questions. How do we help students use AI without letting it do the work for them? How do we protect original thinking? How do we know when a student has actually read, written, revised, or understood? Many teachers wanted a list of best prompts they could hand students for schoolwork and assignments. These were discussed and they were useful. Students need AI skills. They need to know how to ask better questions, check outputs, cite or disclose use, revise responsibly, and avoid trusting the first answer. But a magical set of just right prompts doesn't address the core of the issue that teachers were naming. Many students now have a frictionless way to avoid work while appearing to complete it. AI can make avoidance look like achievement. But by the end of the day, it came to me. The deepest problem with students and AI today is moral. It's spiritual. I don't necessarily mean that in a religious sense. I mean the inner life of the learner: conscience, honesty, self command, courage, laziness, evasion, resentment, humility, and the willingness to do the harder right thing when the easier wrong thing is available. These are not merely skills, they are dispositions. They are animating spirits we may allow to inhabit us, for better or worse. There is a spirit of honesty, a spirit of evasion, a spirit of courage, a spirit of taking the easy way out. AI does not create these spirits, but it gives them new instruments with which to take real form in the world. Another way to put it is this: does one's AI use reflect a relationship with the highest good one can conceive of? In the middle of presenting and discussing with this group of educators, I was suddenly struck by the memory of my father, almost 30 years ago, who, during the heyday of free digital downloads of copyrighted music via Napster and LimeWire, decided to take a different approach than much of the rest of the world. Well, I've done it, he said, sitting down next to me to watch the ball game. I asked him what he'd done. I deleted all the music I'd downloaded for free. It's copyrighted material, and I knew that. It's not legal. More importantly, it isn't right. So I deleted it all. I remember 18-year-old me with my jaw agape, shocked that my dad could have made such a stupid decision. He erased hours and hours of music, an invaluable treasure trove of tunes. More than that, the music he'd freely downloaded had built up our relationship. He could share his favorite bands from the 60s and 70s, and I could enjoy the music and share that bond with him. So much good had come from those downloads. At the time, I thought that his decision was foolish and maybe a bit holier than thou. Looking back, I saw that he was right. But beyond that, I also remember the way he began with his own conduct. He deleted his illegally downloaded music files, but he did not admonish me nor force me to delete mine. He simply took care of his own business, modeling what it looked like to act in accordance with what he believed was good and true. I continued downloading music for free. The music brought us joy. It built our relationship. But for my dad, the bigger issue was this: What am I becoming if I keep what I know I should not have? That's the AI question, too. Student AI use can make the writing sound better. It can help students hand in a finished product sooner. What are students practicing when they let the machine do the work and call it their own? This is where one's conscience comes in. Unfortunately, teachers don't have a button to press to make students listen to their consciences. You can tell students, be honest, but that doesn't make integrity appear. Directly influencing attitudes, dispositions, and the spiritual inner life of others is one of the hardest things to do. They don't change by being told to change. They change through being inspired to a higher purpose, through modeling and leadership. That means the change starts with us. If we want students to use AI honestly, we have to examine our own use first. Are we using AI to save time or avoid thought? Are we reading student work or outsourcing judgment? Are we letting AI write comments we barely review? Are we presenting AI-generated materials as if they emerged fully from our own labor? Are we checking sources, revising outputs? Are we honest with ourselves about where AI helped? We cannot ask students to keep their hands clean while we hide ours behind the machine. Modeling AI use that reflects an aim toward what is good and true can help inspire students. But again, influencing a person's dispositions is one of the hardest things to move the needle on. On the other hand, giving effective feedback from Harvard Business Review's 20-Minute Manager series makes a useful distinction. Skills and habits are easier to influence than attitudes and dispositions. Skills and habits are not deeper than character, but they are easier to shape than character. They are the handle by which we can pull students toward better character. We can get students in the good habit of using clear prompt routines, following AI use boundaries, and crafting disclosure statements. We can teach them to think, summarize, and answer questions before checking AI. We can ask them to take revision notes, show process evidence, and pause for human checkpoints where they explain what AI helped with and what they completed on their own. A student who repeatedly has to answer first, check second, revise honestly, and name what AI helped with is at least practicing the outward form of integrity. Over time, the outward form can influence the inward disposition. AI did not cause the temptation to take the easy way out. It has made the temptation faster, cleaner, and easier to hide, but the answer cannot be only better tools, better prompts, or better surveillance. The answer must include conscience, inspiration, adult example, honest habits, and the slow, deliberate, consistent effort of forming students who can tell the truth about their work and their learning. Because the kind of person students are practicing to become matters, whether they're typing into the prompt box or not. P.S. In the spirit of this article, I should name my own line. Though I drafted and revised this piece with my own hand, AI assisted with it in the way a good editor might, testing phrasing, sharpening structure, catching errors, and helping me see where a sentence was unclear or too heavy. The story, synthesis of ideas, argument, judgments, and final wording are mine. I do not outsource my values, beliefs, or orientation toward what is good and true to a language model. That is my current boundary. AI may help me refine, test, and check my work. In turn, I must check it back. It may not replace my thinking, my judgment, my reading, my argument, or my conscience. Your line may be different, but the line should be named. That, I think, is the first honest step.